wanted to give a quick guide on my shield Wall Warbringer. I'll just start off by going over the skill itself and what it has slotted into it. So it has Atalui's Bloodletting, on Citadel, Calm's Madness, Rapid Attacks 2, and Rage Forge. And these two, on Citadel and Calm's Madness, are actually just for the mapping setup. You'll see it brings out a bunch of fissures, helps you stay safe, helps you block the projectiles, and it can actually block the monsters too. Just one thing to be wary of is that if you are too close, let's say as well, you try to put something down, if you get too much terrain in the way for some of these maps, it can be rough, especially when you're getting swarmed. You won't actually make a shield wall, so you need to make sure you're at least away from some of the terrain a bit, and then you blow it up. So this is just for the mapping. For bossing, you just take these off. You gotta put on Citadel on first too. When you are using this, you might be confused if you just warning you can't use this. It's because you need to have on Citadel first. You could just run this too if you want, and just do one single line ahead. Still works well. But you know, this can actually hit guys around corners and stuff like that. It's pretty nice. For bossing, you can run Heft in addition on there, close combat, or you can run Ambrosia and Rakiata's Flow. And I already have a jewel as well that will give me extra damage as lightning damage, so this will give you shock and a whole bunch of extra damage. And if you really wanted to boost this more, you put Wastegate on, so Life and Mana Flask can be equipped in either slot. You can have 2 mana slots and just have a huge amount of damage boosted, lightning damage. Rakiatas will make it so they don't have any resistance to it. Big damage boost, but you have to give up your life flask. So if you do that, make sure you know the fight and you're not going to get hit by anything, otherwise you're just going to end up dead. For the rest of the skills, I pick Leap Slam. You can do Shield Charge too. You don't need to worry about damage or anything in there, so I just go for the attack speed. So I have faster movement with it. And I have Holy Descent for the Consecrated Ground, life regen. This is your main part of your damage dealer, your Fortifying Cry. And you're going to want Urok Smelting in it, Heavy Swing, Raging Cry, Second Wind 3, and Heft. You'll also add Infernal Cry in there to boost your damage even further. I picked Tireless, Raging Cry, Efficiency 2, and Batter Shout for it. There are some other gems that you can mess around with in here. I haven't found that I really needed it that much. If you wanted, you can add Sunder, because when you have the armor broken, you can Sunder guys, and it will further make them take physical damage. I just haven't bothered putting it in. I usually kill things before needing it, really. It could be good for a boss, especially when you're trying to move up in tiers, but this kills all the tier 3s really fast right now, so it's not really needed. Maybe for Arbiter on like tier 4 or whatever it goes up to. For the auras, you're going to want Scavenge Plating. You want the 4% more armor. And you're always breaking armor, so you basically always have this maxed out the whole time you're running. Herald of Ash, helping you clear, and Berserk just adds a huge amount of damage. And you just put Putrid's Exodus on it for the extra levels. You get your increased rage effect, and you have solid damage. As far as the weapon set goes, you are going to want skill speed in here. The actual damage of the weapon itself doesn't matter. You can use a one-hand, you can use a two-hand. Depends on how you want to try to actually gear out your guy and what kind of damage you want. You're going to get more out of a two-hander because you can have your skills higher on it. You'll get up to like a 5 on a one-hander, 7 on the two-hander. It's just you're gonna need a lot of strength for it, and you need to spec into the Giant's Blood. I went with this setup because I already had a Titan initially and had a lot of strength on all my gear, so it was already there. You're going to want the gain extra damage as physical and increase damage against enemies with fully broken armor. Your main damage comes from the shield, so you're going to want the armor as high as you can. I would just aim for at least 1,100 on it. And yeah, the rest of the gear, you're obviously going to want your skills on your amulet, but this is all. The rest is just going to be health, armor, resistances, however you need. You don't need to run with the constricting command Viper Cap, but I like to. I like all the bonuses from being surrounded. And you can see the tree here. I'll have my path of building linked in the description, but this is the route that I went, and you can see my different weapon sets here. So the green one is for the war cries, and the red one is for the damage, for the shield wall. And so one thing I learned recently, because I was trying to figure out, oh, well, how do I get 2 weapon sets and stuff like that, and you know, Fortifying Cry actually benefits off your shield as well when you're crying around enemies. So how you get one weapon set to work for both of these passive weapon sets in your passive tree is that you go to this. I'll just clear this right now. And so you have to have nothing in your second weapon set. And you'll see it swapping over here. So just make sure you have these 2 on. Take your weapon and your shield out of your second set if that's what you currently have, and you just hover over this and right click when you see the little lock button, and you'll see that does the same weapon. Obviously you can't click it, but it's using the same weapon for that. You'll just need to do the same thing for the other side. And it's super helpful because now you don't need to come up with a whole nother set and a high damage shield or anything like that. You don't need to worry about your resistances being the same or anything like that, because I was thinking, oh, how am I going to get the same resistances and stuff like that? If I Fortifying Cry and that's the last thing I do, and I'm using some other shield that doesn't have the proper resistances, I might forget to swap back or use a shield wall, and then you just end up getting gibbed. So it's super helpful to have this working properly. So if you have any questions, let me know. Consider liking and subscribing if you like the content. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.